Rajneesh Agarwal, Director STPI Headquarter, Shri Subodh Sachan, Director STPI Headquarter and CEO of STPI Next Initiative, and our one of the mentor of this Aperi COE, Shri Raja Jain, who is also founder of PadUp Ventures Private Limited. So first of all, I would like to welcome all these dignitaries on the digital dais and all the audience and the shortlisted participants who are attending the webinar. So today we are having a session where we'll discuss for the shortlisted candidate that what should be the business model, business plan, and then what should be the outcome when today's fund is basically financial related issues will be discussed today. And we would like to listen all these uh, parameters which are to be described on your pitching day. So we are starting this session. It will be very useful to all the shortlisted audience and hope in continuation of yesterday webinar which we started yesterday for shortlisted candidate, it will be very useful to all. And after this, I would like to first invite our today's speaker, Shri Subodh Sachan. So before he will also explain about the requirement of these activities which are very much needed for the startups. So before I need request, I invite Shri Subodh Sachan. I would like to read his brief resume.
No, I think Sanjay, because audience is same, so you can skip the introduction part.
Okay.
Right. Sorry.
To you, sir. Now we can start that what is the requirement of these parameters for the startup, how they can get into a fine picture for these activities, business model, planning, funding, etc. So we'd like
Right.
to.
Subodh, I think that you may speak as a prologue to Rajat Jain for today's session also. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I have not got much idea right now in terms of what Mr. Rajat is going to speak about that. But obviously, from whatever I've been told, and I again welcome all the attendees, all the people who are connecting back today again. I do see a good participation back today. I think that's something which is a testimony that yesterday's session was a good session for all of you. So before that, I respected Rajneesh, Rajat ji, Pankaj is not there, my colleague Sanjay and Shankar Soni. So I think this is whenever I come back to these events of Aperi, I really commend the team and the led by Rajneesh ji, by you, and obviously Sanjay. I mean, this is something which is a different initiative. While we talk about mentoring after the engagement, but mentoring before the pitch, I think this will be a lot good learning to the startups which are coming on in the portfolio of STPI, whether they are finally getting incubated as part of this COE, whether they are not. But I think the learning will always remain with them. Yesterday, we had a very good understanding about what the need. I think Pankaj explained very clearly, why the problem has to be market driven, why the problem has to be real problem, there has to be need of the problem. The opportunity of the problem also needs to be well spelled out in the presentation. The solution has to be very crisp, right? And it has to come out from what a customer or what a consumer actually perceives your solution. I think that's again, typically as technologists, as founders, we talk about technology, we talk about what we're implementing, but we forget the whole angle about what consumer is actually going to really like about the product, right? So the consumer perspective, consumer view, yesterday we heard about the same from Pankaj ji. It's very, very important to to spell it out, to let the audience know, to let the jurists know, and who were sitting on this side of the table listening to you must understand from a consumer perspective, from a customer perspective, what is the value they are going to get by utilizing your product. Obviously, we heard yesterday that innovation may happen in the consumer on the product side, but sometimes innovation will also be the business model. And I think today it's a very apt topic which has been picked up by Sanjay and team, and Rajat ji is already going to speak about that. Business model is very, very important. While we understand the business plan, while we understand how are you going to achieve it, right? What are your financials for that, right? And also, what are the interventions as a startup you have planned for the same. So that becomes very, very important part, while the importance of the problems with the market and also the team has been spelled out yesterday. But one more important aspect which we are going to cover today is understanding the financials, right? A lot of times we have seen a lot of business plans gets created. I mean, there are obviously, when you are starting up, you talk about you're going to spend few crores, probably you're going to get revenues of few crores in the first year or second year, but it's not practical, right? Sometimes, and we have seen this, that the practicality part is kind of missing. So I'm sure today we'll hear more about while we talk about financials, is important, especially if your idea stage. It's very important that you should get a real hang about those numbers, right? And those numbers are the ones which will eventually lead you, right, to the financing activities, right, or the funding activities. And Rajat ji comes from from that ecosystem where he knows that he has seen hundreds of applications, and probably today I'm sure he will share these inputs which will go a long way to the startups and to the journey of the startups, especially ones which are at idea stage. And I'm sure the ones which are at a, let's say, pre-revenue stage, they will have probably got their numbers to an extent right. But it's also about, once you get your number right, it's also about how do you make a presentation about the same. Because it's not like, from investor hat, somebody has to always wear an investor hat. So it's important that a founder, you wear a technology hat, you wear a market hat, you wear your, a hat of, you being a team player. But understanding the finance and understanding the finance is also very, very important. And today we are going to hear about the same. And again, why are we, typically focused upon this? I think I was reading somewhere a quote by Abraham Lincoln, and I think that's an apt quote, right? He said, right, if I had 9 hours to chop down a tree, right, and that is, I think parallels can be drawn. If I had 9 hours to chop down a tree, I will spend the first 6 hours sharpening my axe, which is very, very important. Because if you know what you're starting, and you're 2/3 of the time you really invest as a startup in thinking, in ensuring everything is got right, then in the remaining 3 hours you will definitely be able to chop the tree. So it's important that the first 6 hours are spent in the right direction, and that's the reason why we are bringing this initiative, a commendable initiative by Aperi. And I'm sure Aperi will also bring a lot of such new initiative, the first of its kinds, as I think Rajneesh ji, you have brought an EP. So from that angle, again, I'll listen this session, and it will also be a learning for me to listen to this session. So thank you, Sanjay, and over to you, and over to Rajneesh ji and Rajat ji.
Thank you, Subodh sir. Thank you. You have already set a stage and told the requirement what is there for business planning and funding, and very nicely said that the requirement is first sharpen your axe, then you can only cut the tree. So इतिहास कभी कभी हमें अच्छी चीजें बताता है, हमें सीखना चाहिए, business planning और modeling में भी सिखाता है. So I would like to request our next one of the core speaker for today. और आपको बड़े ध्यान से उनको सुनना पड़ेगा, वो बड़े प्रेसाइजली बोलते हैं और एक एक सेंटेंस कनेक्टेड होता है. So before I would like to invite him, I would like to give a brief resume. So Shri Rajat Jain is co-founder of Padap Ventures Private Limited, and he is also one of the active mentor of Aperi COE. So currently he is on board of Xerox India, Times Innovative Media, and Timda Neva Garments. He has rich corporate experience in consumer, media, entertainment, and telecom space in India, both at young stage companies and MNCs. Startup and business transformations are his passion, and his key areas of expertise and understanding consumers across various spaces, building and working with team and growing business that revolve around brands. An alumni of IIT Delhi and IIM Ahmedabad, he brings to the company a wealth of over 2 decades of multi-sector experience and strong industry knowledge and network. He also ventured on his own with 2 groups of VC to partner them to build, exit, and create value in mobile VAS company in 2010. He is also on a few startup and social advisory boards. His corporate experience includes leadership role at Hindustan Lever, Sony Entertainment, Walt Disney, and Xerox. So I would like to request Rajat to give some brief about how they can business model and funding requirements for the Center of Excellence, and I request participants to listen him carefully because he's very precisely about finance. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, Sanjay. Can you hear me and can you see me?
Yes, we can hear and see you.
Excellent. Very, very good morning to you all, Rajneesh, Subodh, Sanjay, and everybody else who are present, and a big warm welcome to all the participants coming into APARE, potential aspirants. I guess the big day starts tomorrow when we start meeting all of you and taking a final call on your business. So I think this this conversation today is very well poised, because this might help you sharpen your communication and sharpen your presentation to the panel tomorrow that will be finally selecting the final 15 or 20 startups that are going to be part of the first cohort of APARE Blockchain Center of Excellence in Gurgaon under the aegis of Software Technology Parks of India and the Ministry of IT, Government of India. So welcome once again, and thank you, Rajneesh and Subodh, for giving this opportunity for me to talk to young entrepreneurs in the country. I have a big belief that these are going to be our future nation builders, and that's the reason I have left my own large corporate roles. I have not retired. I just make that very clear when people talk to me that, "Arey, aap to retire ho gaye." No, I have not retired. I left it at 50 when I was at the peak and growing to do something more meaningful. And I thought that sharing my own knowledge and experience and network that I have built over now 30 years, Sanjay, so it's 3 decades now, over 30 years. If I share that with people like young entrepreneurs, a lot of you are on this webinar today, I think that will help you learn a little bit and build your businesses. Pankaj, who's my partner, Pankaj has expertise in entrepreneurship, in technology, in some of the areas that he spoke today. I think the business, for an idea, that's a very, very critical part of the business in the early stage. But as you start thinking through it a little bit more, I think, what becomes important is, how do you get money from the customer? Eventually, every business is about revenue, cost, and profit. ये हमको बिल्कुल भी नहीं भूलना चाहिए, चाहे हम टेक्नोलॉजी हो, चाहे हम रिसर्च हो, चाहे हम PhD हो. ये एक चैलेंज हमने बहुत देखा है. We have seen a lot of challenge with particularly technology driven people, that we make a product and then we start looking for the customer. Pankaj may have explained this in a lot of detail yesterday, but it's very important to keep the customer at the top of your mind when you're solving a problem. It is the customer who will eventually pay you for it. And that payment from one customer, 10 customer, 1,000, million customers is what will eventually make your business model. And when you flesh out your business model over a period of time, because eventually the goal is to build a successful business over time, and to build that business, it needs investments. And for that investment, while you as an entrepreneur may put in initial capital, which is called, entrepreneur's capital, own money, it could be friends and family, but eventually you need to go out to the outside world and seek financing. And I will talk about financing in a little bit, about what are the different types and how you can get financing and so on. But it's very important to remember, when you get an investor into your business, then he has expectations from you. And those expectations, if he feels that you can meet them, he will be willing to give you finance. If he doesn't see that vision and that long-term view and that commitment and that passion to start with, and then a business, a product or a service with a pricing and a model behind that business which is sustainable, long-term and profitable, ये दोनों चीजें जरूरी हैं for an investor to invest in the business. And the last thing I would say here very quickly is, the investor is investing for returns. We must always remember that in an early stage startup, it takes time to get returns. And on an average in India, exits have taken 8 to 12 years. It is not 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. This investment is not like a mutual fund or a listed stock or other things that we may be used to. This is a very different kind of investment. And as a founder, I always advise that you should put yourself in the shoes of the investor. हो सकता है कि आप भी कल किसी स्टार्टअप में इन्वेस्ट करें, then how would you look at that startup? You are obviously going to see whether this startup is going to give me return when the exit happens, which basically necessitates 2 or 3 things. One, that the startup should be around until that time, 6, 7, 8 years. 2, the startup should be the business of the startup, and therefore the business model of the startup should be relevant 7, 8 years down the line. There will be a lot of change, a lot of disruption. So the founder has to demonstrate that he has a vision of 5, 6, 7 years, and he's able to put down a technology roadmap to demonstrate to you, okay, I understand how internet will move, I understand how blockchain will develop, I have some sense of where in 3, 5, 7 years this technology will be, and what will be the place of my startup in that world. And actually my value will grow many times in this 6, 7 years. And when an exit happens, you can expect a bumper return. So let me tell you, in the world of investing in startups, when I invest, or when most angels invest, they invest with the understanding that, maybe 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10 will succeed. So every investment is made with the thesis that this investment is going to give me a 50x or a 100x return. 50x means 50 times, 100x means 100 times, which means that if I put in 1 lakh rupees, I'm expecting it to become a crore or 50 lakhs over the 6 to 10 year period. That is my expectation. So for me to feel that much excited, कि यार ये 1 लाख का 50 लाख बनेगा, the founder or you entrepreneurs have to show me that vision, show me that understanding of the landscape. In this case, let's say the problem solving using blockchain technology, you will have to demonstrate that to the set of investors who will come in. So I think this is very, very in short summary what I want to say. Now let me get down to the business model. So I think we covered problem statement, we covered stuff like, what is the solution, value proposition, etc. Now, once we have gone through that, and in your presentations, over the next couple of days, yes, at a very early stage, idea stage, I think the problem, the solution, the customer, and all those things are far more critical. The fundraising and maybe the long-term business plan is somewhat less important. But as you go into the business, that becomes a lot more important. But having said that, you should definitely talk about it. You should definitely present it. It may not be accurate. We all understand that these are visions of people. These are your thoughts. This is the way you look at the world and the way you look at the way you look at the business. And I think just the demonstration of the fact that you're thinking about it, and the fact that you're covering these aspects in your presentation will be important. I think 2 or 3 key skills are about articulation of the models and articulation of the plan. The second is, obviously getting it formatted well, presented well, and some understanding of finance. I think it's not about saying I have to be a chartered accountant. No. This is common sense finance. Even a PhD in chemical engineering understands that much. This is my revenue. This is my cost of getting that revenue. And this is my profit. इतना हमको समझ में सबको आता है. There is a profit and loss account, and then there is a cash flow. The cash flow is a little bit different from profit and loss, because cash flow means when the cash is coming into the business and when the cash is going out of the business. So this is like every month, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, you are putting your revenue and cost in a P&L statement, and you're putting your inflows and outflows in a cash flow statement. ये दो अलग-अलग statement बन जाती है. And cash flow statement tells you how much positive or negative cash you have in the bank. I think eventually our lives, our survival depends on cash. And no better time than the last 6 months that we have learned the lessons of cash management. I have been on board of 6, 7, 8 different types of companies, and 2 of them have run out of cash after 20 years. Because the cash flow management, profit and loss बहुत बढ़िया है, लेकिन अगर आपका कस्टमर आपको पैसे नहीं देगा तो आपका रेवेन्यू तो आ गया लेकिन कैश नहीं आया. And without cash, companies can go down. So I'm trying to emphasize that profit and loss is important. Cash flow is equally important. Don't forget the cash flow. And based on cash flow, you will know the positive or negative cash flow that you have. For example, आपका स्टार्टअप है, आपके पहले महीने में आपका 5 लाख रुपए नेगेटिव कैश फ्लो हो गया, विच मींस आपको उस महीने 5 लाख रुपए चाहिए. कोई ना कोई कहीं ना कहीं से आपको 5 लाख रुपए फंड करने पड़ेंगे. अगले महीने आपका 7 लाख रुपए नेगेटिव है, you have to now fund another 7 lakh rupees, so total becomes 12 lakhs. Third month, maybe it is 10 lakh rupee negative, you have to fund that also, it becomes 22 lakhs. And 5, 6, 7, 8 महीने के बाद that may start becoming positive when the revenue starts to come, and that 22 lakhs may go down to 30, 35, 40, and it may start coming up. You understand? So the peak negative, जो सबसे ज्यादा negative number है, that is called peak negative cash flow. That is the requirement of funding that you have. हमने बहुत बार startups देखे हैं जो आते हैं, they say that we want to raise 2 crores. We want to raise 3 crores, right? And then you wonder, why do you want to raise 2 crores? Because every fund raise that you do means dilution of ownership. ये भी आपको याद रखना है कि आप कोई भी investor जब आता है, any investor when he comes into your business, when he invests money, he takes a chunk of your ownership. Equity ownership goes to that investor. Your goal is to try and keep with you as much as possible for the long term. Because investors also like to see that founders have majority ownership. So you have to raise capital the right amount at the right time. In the life of a startup, capital raising is an ongoing activity. It starts with seed funding or angel funding at the very beginning. The first is self-funding. आपको खुद अपने पैसे डालने पड़ेंगे, आपके दोस्त, आपके friends and family डालेंगे. उसके बाद there is angels. Angels will come and fund your business. Angels are individual high net worth people who are interested in the technology, interested in that business. Then after angels, maybe after a year, year and a half, you will get early stage venture capital funds, which is called VCs, early stage VCs. They will come and invest in your business. Angels will feel very happy if the value of the business is going up, and VCs will invest. Come 2 more years, private equity will come into your business. I'm talking of a successful business. So there is an angel, there is a VC, there is a private equity, and then there is maybe 3, 4 years later, there is an exit. An IPO can happen, a strategic merger can happen, anything can happen, where all these investors get good returns, right? So this is how typically, fundraising works, but you have to focus on the first stage, which is initial पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? Family, friends, yourself. And after a few months, raising the angel round, which means you have to present a qualified investable business to the investor. Like I said earlier, अगर आपका business investable हो, investable simply means that the investor should think that by investing 25 lakhs or 50 lakhs in this business, I will make 50x return. I will make, a good sum of money, and therefore I'm happy to invest and wait for 7 years. I think that is a limited focus for the first round of funding. And to do that and to build that confidence, you have to present not only a real problem, a real solution, a great customer, market research, and so on. You have to start presenting the right kind of business model. And so what are the various types of business models, that you see? What are the examples of different kinds of models, right? So a few that I will tell you. So blockchain is a technology. It is the underlying technology which is creating the solution, right? But the solution is solving a problem, and when you start charging for that solution, the role of the business model comes in. So there is a marketplace model. A marketplace model is a platform where a transaction fee is charged. That's typical marketplace business model. Then we've seen sponsorship models. Sponsorship models is a business where money comes from sponsors, and the users don't have to pay. So advertising business model is a good example. If you look at Google, if you look at Facebook, a lot of them are advertising driven models. You don't pay anything. I don't pay anything for WhatsApp. I don't pay anything for Facebook. But where are they getting the revenue? They are getting revenue from targeted advertising. So it's an ad-based model. Then you come to perhaps the most valuable and popular model, a subscription-based model. A subscription-based model is a model where the user pays a monthly recurring fee. So every month you pay a small amount for the lifetime of the product. And there are hundreds of examples where you and I have subscribed. I have subscribed to Gaana.com. I have subscribed to Zoom video conferencing. I have subscribed to so many services where I pay a small charge for using that service for my own benefit over a period of time. I think perhaps the two most popular models are advertising and subscription. Now, these are in the services space, right? When you're trying to sell a service, if you're trying to look at selling hardware, product selling, then obviously the model is a revenue model where you sell the product. You sell it for 5,000 rupees, and then you have a annuity coming from maintenance, annuity coming from repairs, annuity coming from consumables. So look at the printers, HP printer or a Xerox printer. The printer is sold very, very low cost, but you start buying cartridges and they become, so that's another model where you buy hardware, and then there is a stream of so-called software that is required to sort of run that. In the subscription model, a very common model that we see in most startups is a freemium model. I'm sure you understand the word freemium. Freemium is a combination of free and premium. So you give people a trial period. आपने एक सॉफ्टवेयर प्लेटफॉर्म बना दिया, मार्केटप्लेस बना दिया, या आपने एक fintech platform बना दिया based on blockchain technology. Now consumers are using it, from consumers and let's say vendors. You tell them पहले 6 महीने के लिए free है, आप उसको try करिए, use करिए. So that is customer acquisition strategy. And once you feel that now it is very solid, the brand has got little bit built, people understand the value proposition, you start charging 100 rupees a month or 200 rupees a month or whatever that number is. This is called a freemium model. So it is free to a time, and then you start charging. So it's also trial, trial and then purchase. Another way of looking at freemium is that you provide a basic service that is free. So let's say Zoom, there is a free service where 2 people talk. I and Sanjay are talking, it is free. The moment I want to do a 3-way conference, they say now you have to buy a premium plan, and that is $20 a month. अब मेरे को बार-बार संजय, रजनीश और सुबोध से बात करनी है, I will have to buy a premium plan and I will pay $20 a month. Now, obviously, this is the way people hook on consumers, get them used to it, and then start charging money. So I think what I'm trying to explain here is there are different kinds of business models based on the way you have thought of your solution, the way you are seeing customers will come, the way your research may tell you how much the customer is willing to pay. You will talk to customers before you finalize your business model, and you will meet your customer persona, user persona, and he will tell you, okay, mere ko, this service is worth maybe 50 rupees a month for me. I don't want to pay more than that. And then you have to go back and see whether with 50 rupees a month, how many customers can you get? How many customers can you acquire? And that goes back to this whole TAM, total addressable market, market size, customer acquisition strategy and all of that. ये सारा का सारा उसमें distill होकर it becomes a business plan. So you will say, in the first year, I will acquire 100 customers. In the next year, maybe I will get up to 500 or 1,000 customers. In the third year, I will be able to get 5,000 customers. I'm just giving you an example, okay? And then there is a price per month of the service. And then you multiply that, you get your revenue, right? I'm now talking of converting the business model into a business plan. You'll get a revenue for the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. Typically people show a 5-year horizon where they will say the first year is most certain and the fifth year is most uncertain. It will change, right? A good practice is to put it down for 5 years. If nothing else, it may be totally unpredictable and may be totally incorrect also. But it shows that you have a vision to think for 5 years. I mean, it cannot be a completely ridiculous thing. Okay, in 5 years, I will be only a 5 crore company, right? So because you have to remember that the investor, when he looks at it, and this, so I think these three topics are very interconnected: business model, business plan, and funding. So the moment the investor looks at the business plan and he says, "आपका सिर्फ 5 crore का ambition है, 5 साल में बहुत कम ambition है," then you are not an ambitious person. We don't want to back you. आपने वहां पे 10,000 crore लिख दिया, they will say, "Yeah, you're crazy. I don't think you have a good head on your shoulders. We don't want to back you." So I think it is about getting the right balance. And a lot of that balance you will understand when you do some research, look at some companies, look at some competitors, how people have done. We all expect that it should be an innovative product, innovative solution, and therefore may not have too many competitors, may not have too many benchmarks. There, I think if you just apply first principles, the principles of common sense and logic will be able to tell you how far you can go. And I think it has to reflect your passion for the business. It has to reflect your understanding of your problem and solution, and understanding of the market, the geography, whether it is India, it is global market, it is Asia, it is developed world. Because today the borders have ceased to exist. There are no borders. Ab jo hai, internet is seamless, blockchain is seamless. So you could be sitting here and developing a solution for which US is the market. So the most valuable companies I have seen in the last 10 years in my time as an investor or on the board of a VC fund or a PE fund, I have seen that India has produced a lot of SaaS companies, software as a service companies in verticalized areas, vertical SaaS companies that have become billion-dollar businesses because US was their market. So what I'm saying is, and you understand, software exports has been great. STPI has been the leader in driving, creating this whole IT exports business for the country. I think that market continues to thrive. And there are hundreds of companies that do software solutions for the global market. So I would even encourage entrepreneurs to think globally. The problems that you're solving may have global applications, and global doesn't mean America only, right? Global can mean Indonesia. If you look at a pollution problem that you're solving with some technology, it's not just India that is very polluted. There is Shanghai, there is Indonesia, large markets, right? If you look at renewable energy solutions, large markets. India, of course, is a very big market. So what are your goals? Your goals are to create a successful business. Your goal is to create a sustainable business that is good for the country, good for the environment. And your goal, don't forget, your goal is to give good returns to investors. It is very important to keep the investor interest in mind when you are conceptualizing the business. If you have a lot of money and you need no investors, then I think the business can be very different, which is where people who have to invest their own capital, they don't really care about investors. But I think in the startup world, where we are starting out a business with little capital, we will have to go out and seek external capital from investors. And to demonstrate the value of return, we need to have a sound business model and a reasonably good business plan. Now, in terms of importance, as we come down from problem, market size, solution, customer, market research, competitive landscape, these are much more important in the early stage and also for tomorrow's pitch. Because this is what you see first. अगर ये सब ठीक नहीं है, तो फिर business model, business plan का कोई मतलब नहीं. But once you go down the line, next comes business model, business plan, and fundraising. And don't worry, it will never be accurate. As you get into APRE, there will be enough mentoring programs, there will be enough skill development programs, there will be enough expert mentors coming and talking to you. There are at least 10 or 15 of them. In each area, let's say in funding, there may be an expert on funding. In finance, there may be an expert coming and telling you, मैंने तो बहुत briefly आपको cash flow, profit and loss बताया, but there is a proper structure around it. Today is not the time for that. There is, the moment you get investors, an important thing to remember is corporate governance. Most of us don't know corporate governance when we start a business. We say, हाँ यार ये सब पता नहीं कौन है, chartered accountant, company secretary क्या करते हैं? They only charge me fees. I have been a startup founder. I was always saying, यार इतना पैसा क्यों लेते हैं? Not good. Let's forget about it. No, you cannot forget. You may be a great company. You're doing very well. One lawsuit. You understand lawsuit, right? One lawsuit from one unhappy customer or one bad filing or not filing and something from, let's say, income tax department or whatever. It can shake the valuation of the business. आपका इतना मेहनत जो आपने 3, 4, 5 साल की. So all I'm saying is the respect for corporate governance, the respect for having the right kind of board, advisory board, people around you, strong mentors, partners, they have a big role to play for an entrepreneur in his journey to success. And this journey is not a short journey. This journey is like a 10, 15 year journey. If you look at most of the unicorns today, most of the unicorns in India, they have taken 10 years or more to reach there. This is not fly by night, overnight riches. I think that's not the reason we should become entrepreneurs. The reason we should become entrepreneurs is we have a passion to solve a real problem, create value for the nation, create value for the country, contribute to the GDP, contribute to employment, and in the process, create value for yourself, create wealth for your family, and create wealth for your investors. I think this should be the driving force for anybody who wants to become an entrepreneur today. Thank you. And by the way, I can go into details of all these things if you want, but I'm conscious of time and I think we should take more questions.
I think it will be quite time for questions. Okay, so Sanjay and Sony, where is Sony?
Sony there, sir.
So then give the access to participant.
Yes, sir.
For asking questions.
Fine, sir. Sony, please add all the panel. And thank you, Rajat, sir. You have given very nice examples of business planning, modeling, fundraising, how to raise fund, when to raise fund, the effect of raising fund. Nicely explained, and probably the all the shortlisted participants will get benefit out of it. They are planning their business model, and when they are coming for the pitching session, they will be able to answer the queries of analysts who will be screening them. So now all the place all the participant aspirants applicants will take question from them if this activity.
So I'm looking at the chat box and I'm hoping to get some questions, and Subodh, Rajneesh, all of you, we can answer as they come. But हमारे participants कहाँ हैं?
Yeah, we will take some question directly from the participant as.
Yeah, if they can speak, you can put them on the screen or something. Is that possible?
We are putting them, sir.
Okay. I think we can have an interactive session,
Yeah. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now, as required by panelist Rajat Jain, we have make live all participants here. Mr. Dhruv Datta, Sahil Sanke, and many others have raised hand. Shall we put one by one? Mr.
Yes,
Sahil Saklani, you can ask your question. You can unmute yourself. Mr. Sahil.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Good afternoon to all the panelists, and good afternoon, sir. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good afternoon. We are able to hear you. Please.
Okay. Yeah. So, Raj sir, it was very useful session for us, especially who are not in so expertise, those who don't have so much expertise in financial matters. Sir, my question is, I have made a business plan for 1 year, right? Like how many customers I will achieve and what? Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Yes.
Carry on.
Hello, yeah. Sir, I have made my business plan like for 1 year and without any funding. I'll be taking money from my friends and myself by savings and all.
Yeah.
The problem is I have a team. One technical person is there, and I'm into this marketing and sales operations. The thing is, regarding our team, we don't have any financial expertise, right? So what we are doing, and we are making plans according to what we think on basis of our expertise. Hai na? So these things like how to get funding or how should we proceed on that. So how can we do such things since we don't have any team member who can help us out in this way?
So you don't have to have all the expertise in your team to start with. I mean, I don't think that's important. I think the core team is the entrepreneur, who has the idea, who's looking at that problem and creating the solution. Okay. The finance part, typically, obviously, you'll have to form a company. You would have formed a company. There would be some chartered accountant, somebody around here, right? This process of planning and doing a business plan, like I said, is relatively commonsensical, and people who've done simple education of BA or BCom or anything can do it. And when you come to this incubator, when you come to any incubator, I think it will be part of that process of mentoring that people will handhold you and mentors will tell you how to create that plan. I think later on you can get finance expertise and all those other things, but your CFO or financial people come in much later in the life of the startup, not in the first 3 years or 2 years. Now, if you have a team member who happens to be a chartered accountant, that's great. But you don't have to go and get a chartered accountant to become part of the team today. Okay. So I think it's important to understand that some of these things can come from the outside world. I mean, you sit with somebody for 3 days, understand, you'll be able to make a business plan. Your business model should come out of your own consumer research, your company market research, what your customer is saying. उससे आपका बिजनेस मॉडल आपको क्लियर हो जाना चाहिए. है ना? और उसको बिजनेस प्लान बनाने के लिए आप किसी भी सीए के साथ या किसी भी रीजनेबली फाइनेंस बैकग्राउंड आदमी के साथ बैठोगे, वो आपकी टीम में होना जरूरी नहीं है, आपका दोस्त भी हो सकता है, राइट? बट इनपुट आपके यहाँ से आएंगे, विजन आपका होगा.
Yes, yes.
वो विजन को एक फॉर्मेट में डालना और उसको प्रेजेंट करना, दैट इज आई थिंक मच इजियर पार्ट. द बिगर थिंग इज हैविंग द विजन and communicating that vision to this person who's going to write a little bit of business plan.
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing is there are various places where you can do a little tutorial on how to write a business plan. You as one person, as an entrepreneur, you do a 2-hour tutorial, you'll get some idea of how to write a business plan. Today online learning has taken off in a big way. So I'm saying two sources. One is online learning and second is mentors. So when you come into Apiary, this will be an automatic process.
Yes. So on the part of this question again, look, I have made my plan. Yeah, I have made my business plans according to my research and what I have done, surveys and consumers that I got. But my question is like when I'll present my numbers to the panelists, right, to the investors or somebody. So I thought कि भी I should not look like ना कि भी इसको पता नहीं है ये चीज पूरी तरह फाइनेंस का पूरा इसको एक एक चीज नहीं पता. तो मुझे इस बात का थोड़ा डाउट है कि आप पैनलिस्ट के सामने लोग.
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. देखो ऐसा है कि जो साइंटिस्ट होता है उसकी नॉलेज साइंस में और साइंटिस्ट के लिए ज्यादा होती है. जो फाइनेंस का आदमी होता है, see every one person cannot be super knowledgeable in all areas, right? So if you are demonstrating your own area of knowledge well, and you have a reasonable sounding business plan, remember whatever you are putting as a business plan tomorrow will change 5 times. It will change 5 times in the next 2 years. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I think the fact that there is a reasonably thought through business plan is good enough.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. There's a question here from Nitin Sethi, which says that industry where we are working, there are regulatory changes happening currently around the entire model of functioning, and we are awaiting details further from regulators. So how do we do modeling? So I think, Nitin, the simple answer to this is, if you have a sense, obviously you understand today's regulations, and your model should be based on what the regulations allow you to do today. If you have a sense and you are party to, let's say, potentially new regulations coming, and you have a view on that, you could prepare an alternative plan to say, tomorrow we think that this will get banned and this will get allowed, or duties will come down or whatever. If this happens, my plan will change like this, my profit will go up or go down or whatever, right? My funding in this plan is required X. In the new plan, actually, I don't need funding because the government is making things very easy. So I don't know. I mean, the point I'm making is you could make a plan for both scenarios. Sir, Rajnish ji, kuch add karenge? Is it good enough?
Good enough, yeah.
Sanjay, I'm looking at more questions here. Should we do this is from, should I keep reading and keep doing?
So some people are also raising hands, so we'll take them live also. Then later on we'll take these questions.
Okay.
Unmute yourself first. Unmute yourself and ask out.
Mr. Kalyan, here? Yeah. Go ahead.
तुम्हारे यहाँ ना डिस्टर्बेंस है कुछ, आप उसको अपना म्यूट कर लो आप.
Who is next? Oh, okay, I'll take.
Satish Rajendran here. Am I audible?
Yes, Satish, go on. Satish, bolo.
Yeah.
You're audible, and start your question.
Yeah. So my question is more on the fund requirement ask. What should be the requirement ask if the idea is at the concept stage? Is there any cap identified for seed funding? Could you throw some light on that?
So Satish, the fund, there is a lot of echo, but Satish, can you go mute? Yeah. So the fund requirement is not what you start with. You don't put an idea and then you say, I want 1 crore. It should not be that way. You should do a basic business plan, which is what we just said, that, once you have a problem, you are solving that problem. There is a customer interaction, you get an understanding of what he's willing to pay for that solution, you get an understanding of how many customers are there in your market. When you do all that, obviously you get your business model, whether it is pay per use, whether it is advertising driven, whether it is subscription driven, right? Then you create a basic business plan, at least let's say for 2 years or 3 years. And in that business plan, when you do it monthly, you will get to a number which will tell you how much negative your plan looks. So let's say your plan looks like, in 12 months, it is 70 lakhs negative. Okay. Then it means that to run your business for 12 months, you need a funding requirement of 70 lakhs. So therefore you can go and try and raise 75 lakhs, maybe 80 lakhs, 1 crore, kind of. There is no peak, there is no cap, there is no rule here for how much fund you should raise. But like I said, the rule in our mind should be, I should not dilute too much. It is always good to say, I want to raise the maximum amount. But the more you raise, the more you will be diluted, because at an early stage, your value is very, very low. The value of a business at an early stage is very low. When you start demonstrating success, your value goes up very rapidly. So you have to time the raise of capital with what the investor sees your value as. And my recommendation always is, when you reach Series A, you should have majority of the company under your control.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
yeah, Satish, you can mute yourself. Yeah, sir, Chayan Jaiswal, he asked a question. I do not have a team right now.
I've seen the question. Yeah. So, Chayan, I think on the entrepreneurial journey, it is very important to have the right team. And it looks like you are a lone person. It is important to have a team. It's important to have a company. I think it's important to have a company, because without a company, you will not be able to do the business properly. It is difficult for me to conceptualize how you will do a business without a company. So the moment you have to form a company, you need 2 people, right? So that is one thing. And only when you have a company can you take expenses, can you book losses, can you take the advantage of losses, carry forward, and can you raise funding? Because without a company, there is no funding. Because आप funding किसमें करोगे? कोई है, अगर entity नहीं है तो funding नहीं होगी. So I think having a company is like a prerequisite becoming an entrepreneur. Secondly, when investors come in, they always prefer to see a team. It is very difficult to tell someone कि मैं सब कुछ कर लूंगा. हम कह सकते हैं, but सामने वाला उसको believe नहीं करेगा. So दूसरा रिस्क ये होता है कि एक आदमी के ऊपर सारा का सारा बेट लगाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, because anything can happen in this world. So in my experience, 80% of businesses will have minimum of 2 founders, and those 2 founders have complementary skill sets. One may be a technology expert, one may be a sales and business expert, finance expert, whatever. So my recommendation to you would be, Chayan Jaiswal, if while you have an idea and you have a solution, it is equally important, and you should prioritize creating and getting your co-founder and building a company.
Sir, Rajat sir.
Boliye.
Yeah, there's a Shaleen Mathur.
Shaleen.
I have given question to you, forwarded to you.
देख रहा हूँ मैं, हाँ.
Yeah.
We are building an independent blockchain platform in a public and permission space. What direction in financial modeling would you put us towards, and do tokenomics qualify for the same? Also, since we are a Section 8 not-for-profit company, can you kindly advise on government grants and viability gap funding through APRE instead of traditional venture capital? So I will leave this question for Subodh to answer.
I think Subodh sir is on a different call.
Or Rajneesh sir. Rajneesh sir, इनको government funding.
Sir, unmute yourself, sir.
take this question later on because I could not listen the question. I see in the chat. Meanwhile, you just
Okay.
go further. I don't get
We ask panelists to add into that so that they can directly ask.
Yeah. Panelist. There are another panelist. There is Ankit Jain. Ankit Jain, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi Rajat sir, good afternoon. My question was regarding, like, is there any specific business model framework that we can use in our presentation? Anything that you would recommend?
Not really, Ankit. Every business, every idea, problem, solution, pricing will have a different business model. I think conceptually you must be able to say your business model is around charging the customer, charging the vendor, charging the manufacturer. Is it around a one-time fee, a recurring fee, an annual fee? Is it around giving it free for some time and then charging later, giving some services free and then charging on top of that? So if you were in the session earlier, we talked of these models called subscription-based model, advertising-based models, pay-per-use models, freemium models, sponsorship models. Now, these are all technical names actually. You can find them on the internet and marketing ki kitabon mein aapko ye sab mil jayega. But yes, the fact is that, you may have a SaaS model, right? You may have, so koi format nahi hai, Ankit. आपका जो स्पेसिफिक मॉडल है, अगर आप सिंपल कॉमन सेंसिकली उसको एक स्लाइड पे लिख दोगे and term it business model, that is good enough, right? So you can say my business model is around subscription. We will charge every subscriber $21 per month. That's a business model. Or I will give it free for 1 year and then I will start charging $5 a month, right? So I think just articulating what you're thinking in terms of, business model is linked to how do you generate revenue.
Yep.
So whatever is going to generate revenue, and it may not be only one model. You could have an advertising model and a subscription model and a pay-per-use model and a freemium all in one.
Okay.
Right? आपको लिखना है slide पे, कोई format नहीं है.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Next.
I think let me ask Gajendra's question very quickly. Are you supporting us for patent application process? Yes, absolutely. You said it last time, Sanjay. You want to answer the NRDC MOU?
Yes. NRDC is in. We are having MOU with NRDC, is our partner, and we are having support for all activities related to IPR through this Appiary COE.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So next, I think Smriti Chaudhary is also asking one question. You unmute yourself.
Yes, good. Yes, this is Smriti Chaudhary.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Rajat sir. It was a very informative session. You are a powerhouse of knowledge. My question is very basic. Say when we approach at the very preliminary stage, when we want to approach angel investor, they will want to know how much we are valued at. So who does the valuation? Do we get to do it, or will they do it, and based on what it's going to be?
So Smriti, at a very, very early stage, when angels are investing, there will be some benchmarks that are already there. For example, in the past, what sort of investments have happened at what sort of valuations. We see typical valuations at angel levels anywhere between 3-4 crores up to 8-9 crores value for a tech business. Now the value really depends on what is the problem you're solving, how large is the market, how scalable is the solution, how strong is the team, what is the passion that you are seeing or we are seeing or angel investors are seeing. How are you able to show them the 5 or a 7-year exit horizon? I think these are the kind of things that'll put you at 3 crores or 9 crores. I've not seen idea companies, angel level investments, first investment I'm saying, at valuations which are much higher than that or much lower than that. Does it answer?
Saying it's like between 3 and 9.
I mean, you know, this is
Yes,
like,
of course, it does answer.
I'm giving some thumb rules here. You know, these are thumb rules. If you come in with a patent, you know, the world's first patent in nuclear science, you know, it may be valued at 100 crores, right? But again, if I go by statistics, I don't know how to answer your question more accurately. But if I go by statistics of the last 1,000 angel funds rounds may have happened, the 3 to 9 logic will apply.
Yes, I understand. Thank you so much. That was very informative answer. It does, help me.
Thank you, Smriti. You can mute yourself. And now, next is Mr. Dhruv Datta.
Yeah, I'm seeing Dhruv Datta's question.
Yes, I thought we lost, so I just typed in the question. So reiterate, we have a ready platform called ChainTrail. So we have a couple of paying customers in India and UAE as well. So what we are looking in terms of it is a funding where we can grow our team and expand our business operations. That is one. That was one part of the question, and how Apiary COE can help us with that, and we can connect that back to our pitch as well. The second one is, say, best case scenario, we are through and we are part of the final round. What is the kind of a client acquisition support that we can expect from Apiary COE team and advisors? So,
Dhruv, let me tell you, the program is a program which runs in 2 phases. Once you're selected, there is initial boot camp where the validation of the idea, validation of the customer, validation of the business model, market size, all of that happens. And after that, there is an initial round of funding, which is what you would typically call an angel round. And a lot of investors are associated with Apiary who will come and look at the startups. This may be a 4-month odd program. And once the company has got that angel round, and in some cases the entrepreneur may himself fund it and himself fund the angel round and take it to acceleration. At acceleration, you start working on scaling up the business, and in that 9 or 12 months after that, you would come in front of institutional early stage investors, and you could be raising $500,000, $1 million. You know, that's the kind of money that would happen at the end of the let's say one year program, so to speak. So it depends on what, again, I don't know what is the need of capital, how much it is, what is the business model, and what sort of client acquisition support you look for. But the group and the people around Apiary are very, very strong, accomplished, and connected, both government and private sector. So I have no doubt that connecting you to clients is what we can help, but acquiring the client is not what we can do. I will not call a client and tell him, please give business to Dhruv. No, that's not what we do. I think your business has to speak for yourself. Opening doors, you know, requesting for a meeting, which itself, by the way, may take 6 months if you want to meet the IT secretary in Haryana. It may not happen, right?
Sure.
But so I think opening doors, helping you come in front of large corporations, large departments, government is something we can do. After that, you have to pitch and get the business.
That's true. That's true. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dhruv. You can mute yourself now. And next is Satish Rajendran.
Satish से तो बात हुई थी? अच्छा नहीं.
Satish, taken the question from him, I think.
Satish, bolo.
No, I had a question I asked and it's done.
I have asked earlier. तुम उस Salim Mathur को you connect, or I answer from chat box.
Yeah, you can answer, sir.
Okay. Yes, good afternoon, Salim. You have asked this question that you are a Section 8 company, not for profit, and you want some sources of funding through government, through this Apiary STPI, instead of going into the this venture VC kind of funding. as I told you, there are number of funding available through government also as a grant in aid kind of funding. And for that funding, there are two kind of funding. One, central government gives some kind of funding, and state government also gives some kind of funding. As you are, if suppose you are coming in STPI apiary and then you apply for that funding, then you can also you will have access to funds available being made available by this government of Haryana, because government of Haryana has some IT policy, and being located in state of Haryana, you will have that kind of access. But that fund will not be you can say huge fund, but to begin something, that fund is okay, because that fund will be right now I do not know how much government of Haryana gives fund to startups, but it will be to the tune of say 5 lakh rupees or something like that. And similarly, there are some schemes which DST runs, MSME runs, so you can get funding from that, and there is a fund of funds through SIDBI. Through that route, you can also get the fund. But for so this is the kind of government funding which you can get. I think.
Adding that part, so time to time they have to check the eligibility also, whether they are eligible for that or not.
And those funds, time to time they change the eligibility or amount of the fund, or scheme. Some scheme gets closed. Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Rajni sir. I think Mr. Somadeep Ghosh had similar questions. I have given you on chat, sir. You can see it.
Somajit question also.
Rajni sir, you can see the chat. I have given. I think this is similar question. If you can add with Somadeep's question. So unmute yourself.
Somjit, does apiary have any fund or process which startups like us can work with local talents and provide remuneration during the scale of process? Or are there any recommended best practices that you have seen? Yes, Mr. Somadeep, as far as apiary is concerned, we don't have that kind of fund. Though there is a provision of arranging seed kind of fund through this center of excellence.
Yes.
But, that is only the kind of provision if we get that kind of funds. But there is no fund which we can say it is a budgeted kind of fund. Okay. So this is the situation.
Hello, sir. This is Somadeep. Am I audible?
Hi, yes. Audible.
Yeah, so my question was more like we have a team of 3 people, but
yes.
Actually we do not at this point of time we do not have someone with the technical expertise who can drive this project entirely 100%. So that is why we were thinking of recruiting. We have such contacts. We were thinking of recruiting some local talents and then do our development piece with their help. So is that once we gather the funding for that, they would be definitely asking for remunerations in that case. So if you can gather the fundings for that, because we have confidence on our idea, but the problem which we the roadblock which we are presently thinking of is that within the team, within the core team, we do not have someone to entirely drive the project.
But if we don't have that kind of provision, but for that, I think Rajatji, you can advise him as to how he can move forward.
Unmute, sir. Unmute yourself.
Unmute, sir. Rajat sir, unmute yourself.
So one thing, Somadeep, is that this is a blockchain center of excellence, and blockchain is the underlying technology. So I would imagine that a blockchain expert should definitely be part of the team. If the blockchain expert is not in the team and there is a solution on blockchain, then I'm not clear how that will happen. So because it's a technology center of excellence, you know, a blockchain expertise is fundamental to this. if that expertise has to be acquired from outside and a remuneration has to be paid for that, then that has to be paid by the company, by the startup. So and if it is a co-founders typically don't take remuneration for a period of year or 2 or 3, whatever, because they have equity in the company. So my suggestion would be to have a technology person who's part of the founding team and not looking for remuneration, but looking for creating wealth over time.
Thank you, sir. I got my answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sir. Next is Akshay Khenwar, and I have given message to you.
Yeah. So Akshay's question is, do we need to do financial analysis of the competition as well? I don't think so. I don't think that's required. I think your understanding of the competition and illustrating it in a slide saying, this competition provides this features, this benefits, the next guy provides this features, this benefits, and have an idea of how successful these guys have been. But financial analysis is not required. I mean, nobody's going to ask you what is the profit of that competitor. Some of the things about, so you should be able to articulate if there is a competitor who's become $1 billion company in 5 years, and you think the market is very big. It's worth articulating that, because that gives more confidence in your own product and solution. But otherwise, any detailed financial analysis is not required.
Yes, Sanjay ji. Sanjay ji, there is a question for you. Mr. Saurav Raj has asked a question related to infrastructure, computing infrastructure and resources being provided through COE. You can read it.
Okay. So, Saurabh, your question is, would we get some help with infrastructure and resources? Blockchain applications are heavily in demand. Basically, computing infrastructure will also be there, like you'll be having access to blockchain as a platform services. So we have finished that. This is for you can use that. Also, we are coming up with like Intel, also Intel Ledger, and from there also you can get access. And meanwhile, also get another cloud service having service provider also. So that facility is available that will be available for designing or POC.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we are completed all that parameters, all the questions from the.
I think there is one question from Riddhesh.
Yes,
Riddhesh Jani has sent a question which says, we are developing a product to authenticate the original products, but we are not sure how we can charge the manufacturer, whether based on every product is authenticated by customer or on subscription base. Can you help us how to figure out on how we? So I think this is actually this question is from Somashekar Poreddy. So Somashekar, this is really what will happen in the program, right? Clarity. Once you meet a customer, once you do a research, you will be able to build your business model from first principles. It is very difficult for me to answer on this without understanding your business. What would be the right model, whether it is charging the customer or on subscription basis or charging the manufacturer. These are two different business models. Charging the manufacturer and making it free for customer is one thing. Charging the customer is totally another thing. But how these two business models work, how they will pan out in your specific case, in your customized startup, this is all part of the initial mentoring program of that 14 or 16 weeks that I mentioned. I think this will happen in that. So in your presentation for tomorrow, you should be able to say what you think is the right business model today. And you can say that this is, we would like to validate this business model, because validate the model in the mentoring or in the APRE mentorship program. The fact is that the first 16 weeks is about validating your entire idea. And a lot of your things, including whether the problem that you're solving is a real problem or not. So all parts will be validated. And once you have a validated idea, you should be able to raise some capital.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Surupam. So this is a question from Surupam Chandra. We at Trace Food have 30 people team. We have developed SaaS platform with subscription based model. We already have set up different sales partners in Europe, Spain, USA. Our main cost of operating is salary and marketing. So how should I incorporate all the info in the funding, and what amount of equity should put online? So, this is a very difficult question to me to answer with the information that I have in the chat box. It totally depends again on, how much first is, what is your business plan? How much fund do you really need to raise, and for what period of time?
Okay.
How is an investor likely to value your business? So once you have how much fund you need to raise and how much investor likely to value your business, you divide the first by the second, you will get your dilution, right?
Okay.
It's not an easy thing to answer here. I think it's a separate conversation once somebody is able to understand the business, understand the fund requirement, get a sense of the value. And this valuation is also it's a science and an art. I may think my business is valued at 10 crores and the investor may think it's valued at 5 crores. Now, eventually it becomes a negotiation. There is some science to it, but in the end, it's a negotiation. Like in any conversation, in the end, it's a negotiation. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Rajat sir. So I wanted to ask one more thing, is that if we are offering equity, can we add extra parameters, like if they want to increase the equity, we can decrease the equity by providing them a certain amount of the sales. So let's say the product is being sold to a client at $10,000, and we would be able to provide close around to 5% of that sales figure to the particular investor with a lower equity percentage. Can we compare like that? Can we make that kind of terms happen?
It depends on who is the investor. It depends. If the investor is a venture fund investing, right, and taking equity, so they have no value for your product at a lower price, right? The whole thing depends on who is the investor and what is he looking for. So these are all customized. There is no template here. These are all customized conversations with investors, and depending on where the negotiation stops or ends, you have to sign a deal.
Okay, so I would be able to divide it into a long-term investor and a short-term investor. The short-term investor who is looking to exit under 2 years, and a long-term investor who is looking to carry on for 5 to 7 years.
Well, it can be both. I don't know what is a short-term investor. In my world, you should be a long-term investor, because in the business in which you are or we are, in the startup business, there is no guarantee of exit. How will you guarantee an exit in 2 years? So it's a very difficult situation to give guarantees or to say that. Short-term investors don't invest in startups, by the way. They should not.
Okay. Sir, one last question that I had. So will the STPI will be engaging us with philanthropic companies or organizations like UN, UNICEF? Would we can actually converse with them through STPI COEs, because there are multiple blockchain implementation in the United Nations as well as in the UNICEF. There are multiple programs that are going with. So is there any workaround in there?
So I think Government Blockchain Association is associated with us. We have one of the presidents of the Government Blockchain Associations in India who is on our board. He is connected to the Government Blockchain Association in the US and in the UK. There is a global body. So I cannot say if we have direct links into the United Nations or into UNICEF, but over a period of time, these as global associations, I'm sure will be able to help us, reach out to other global bodies. At least, we are very early in the stage of the life cycle of the COE to give you a firm answer, yes or no. But the intention of the COE is to provide every kind of support. The whole idea of mentoring and incubation is to provide every kind of support which the startup needs for its success. But it cannot guarantee every kind of support. You tell me, I want to talk to this company in South America. We may know it, we may not know it, but we will try.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Rajat. Thank you for the insightful answer.
And I think it needs to be understood while we are trying to create an opportunity for networking, right? I mean, that's which will always happen. And as Rajat ji said, I mean, there is a quality community behind the Center of Excellence, and a community of industry expert, community of industry leaders, and community of as Rajat ji said, global blockchain associations, right? So this community will be able to understand, and when we bring in mentors will also be able to understand and pinpoint specific areas of what you support you require, and will be able to see how that can be delivered as well. But yes, I mean, goal is to ensure that there are other angles which are which cut across all startups, right? Whether it is your technology intervention, whether it is your business intervention, whether it is your market intervention. I think that's something which will be guaranteed with the COE through a structured mentoring program and structured hand building program, and specific things on a particular startup. I'm sure that will evolve as Rajat has said.
Subodh sir, I think there is a last question I have forwarded to you. You can see, sir. This question is from Vasisht Chukhadia. You can read it, sir, or shall I read?
Just help me with reading right now, because I have to. You have sent it to me,
sir.
Vasisht
Chukhadia. Okay.
Yeah.
If there is a law or suggestion from government for not charging from farmers in then how can we generate a business model but applying the law if your idea is based on software as a service model? And thank you for learning opportunity. So
I mean, at least sorry, if my knowledge of this may be slightly poor, but at least I'm not aware of any law which says that you cannot charge farmers. Okay, number one, right? And so it's all about that you cannot, I think more laws are there to protect the interest of farmers, right? When that happens, if you are bringing a value, right, whether it is a value through a better supply chain, value through better product selling for farmers, whenever there is value creation, and anybody who does the value creation, they will be able to charge for their services or their products, right? And there is no stopping by government. Mostly government is saying that typically in the case of farmers, intermediaries must reduce, right? And reduction of intermediaries is for the benefit of efficiency to be brought in. And implementation of blockchain can bring in a lot of other efficiencies. I think if we focus on efficiencies of ensuring the product reaches the market in time, that there's less wastage of agricultural products, there's better discovery, better knowledge which can be shared. Those use cases will be a strong value creators within the agri community. So I think probably that you should probably focus more on what value creation you can really bring in. So once your value creation is there will be a business model.
Yeah, I am also not aware of any law doesn't allow you to charge for a service that you're giving. A private enterprise cannot be forced to give a service for free. I think this is fundamental, I think, civic principles. If there is a specific situation where farmers cannot be charged, I'm sure you can think of other business models around charging manufacturer, around advertising, around creating a community. I think, again, to me, this is a deeper conversation with a mentor when you go through the journey in the Apiary blockchain COE. There's a question on Rajesh Kumar, which says that, is there a plan for Government of India to deploy centralized blockchain network to support decentralized apps targeting public or social use cases? Government of India.
Well, to my knowledge, there is some initiatives happening within Government of India, and especially that is for government use case or government uses of blockchain technology. NIC is already building a blockchain cloud and support to that. But I'm sure as we move forward, we'll get more and better understanding of the same. Whether it can be limited to government use cases, limited to use cases within inside government departments, or whether it is for public usage in large. Right, so I think that is something will emerge further, and this is something I think we'll also get back, in due course of time, in terms of what are the initiative for a centralized blockchain network within government.
Right, sir. There all depends upon the use cases, and like telecom department or some department, they are also focusing on blockchain implementation. It depends upon the requirement and use case.
Yeah, at least I'm aware that government of Tamil Nadu is deploying centralized network, right? Because they are they're looking forward to deploy a couple of blockchain powered services, especially for routing the various benefits and subsidies to marginalized sections of society. So yes, government of Tamil Nadu is working on that. And similarly, I think government of Telangana has worked upon something, but still that government of Telangana aspect of for the land records, I think they have done government and the government blockchain within government of Telangana. So those models will emerge. I think wherever government is beneficiary, or government is regulator, or government is intermediary, I think the data may reside on the government blockchain network.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, there is a attendee, Punnos Joseph. Yesterday, he has also tried but not connected because of short time. Mr. Punnos Joseph, you can ask your question.
Yeah, you told about the patent filing. Is this international patent or Indian patent? Hello?
Yes.
Like you told that you'll help us on a patent filing. Is this international patent or Indian patent?
Both we are.
Both.
So, I think unmute yourself, Sony. Now we can end this session.
Yeah, sir. I think we have gone through around 18 questions today, and it was a great success, I think. Yesterday we have taken 7 questions. Now today it is 18 questions. Subodh sir.
So concluding remark.
Unmute yourself, sir.
Sorry, the session was good. Whenever the session is good, I think the interaction really helps. So to all the attendees, these sessions are being created to ensure that your understanding of what ecosystem, your understanding about your own business improves a lot, and that should reflect into your pitch statement. I think that's our earnest call. Once you make a presentation, you should be able to reflect your learnings from last 2 days, and that's what we want to hear from your pitch. Starting probably tomorrow. And as I think Rajnish said yesterday, I mean, there was a lot of variations when we heard these speeches earlier in different center of excellences. But in this center of excellence, we would like to see, somewhat very focused approach in 5-10 minutes time given. Each of you should be able to put your best foot forward, present your best, passion, which you probably are driving already. You should be able to represent your startup, your idea, your passion in a right words, right slides, and within a time stipulated, within a given time. I think let's with that hope. It's a great work, Sanjay and Soniji, and I think so. Thank you from my end to Rajat and to all the participants.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you for connecting well today.
All the best to everyone. All the best for tomorrow.
I would like to hear Rajnish as closing comments or thoughts from Rajnish. Yes.
Thank you to everyone, and I think Rajatji and Subodh, they have told everything, whatever they can be suggested to the participants or these our entrepreneurs who are pitching tomorrow for this particular apiary. And I will like to say only that they should be very focused tomorrow, because they will get only 10 minutes or 15 minutes time. including the question answer from them, and they will have to show off everything what they can do, because there will be a different kind of people in the panel, people from industry, people from government, people from academic institution. They will be there and they will be expecting a different kind of deliverables from you. So now you have to be very focused and very clear in your perceptions and in your outcomes, so that the panel can understand you very well and can give you the right numbers and right result. And with this, I again convey my best wishes to all the entrepreneurs or all the our participants who are tomorrow coming for this pitching kind of session. It is not exactly pitching session. This is a further our screening process in which we will select a startup for this apiary. My best wishes to all of them, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, time's come for the vote of thanks. So, I consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all dignitaries on Digital Dais and to all panelists and to all the participants in for this particular event. And I'll express my sincere gratitude to Shri Rajnish Agrawal, Director STPI Noida. Heartfelt thanks to Shri Rajat and sincere thanks to Shri Subodh Sachin and PD team. Thanks to participants who have spared their time and value added into the today's program. So thank you very much. With this, I'll again giving my best wishes to all the participants who are coming for tomorrow's session. Thank you.
Thank you all participants. It is kind request to you, please fill the form to you so that we can improve our processes. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Feedback is coming for the two sessions which we had yesterday and today. So just circulate that. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.